Okay, let me know if you can hear me as you're filing in here. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Just testing things out. Get started in just a minute. If you're a first time viewer of the live stream, let me know as well. Love to hear from you. Okay, I think the audio is good. Audio is looking good on my end. Awesome. Warrior Rips, good to see you here. Great to see you here. So we have some more people joining. First time viewer. Oh, didn't know that you hadn't caught one of the streams before. Awesome. Great to have you here. Got a lot to go over today. It's going to be hopefully packed with value. Lots of commonly asked questions that I've gotten that I'm really going to dive deep into. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. And of course, we'll be doing the normal stuff that I do on these, just showing you what I'm buying right now, my buying process, and how I vet cards for grading on eBay, Facebook as well. So a lot of you guys probably know that when I buy on eBay, I use an auction sniper. This is the one I use, Gixxon.com. It's the cheapest one that I've seen. It's very cheap, very reliable. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. Yeah, not affiliated with them in any way, but I've never had an issue. You know, it's an older site. It's not the most modern or UI friendly, UX friendly, but it gets the job done. I'll show you guys how I use it. It's totally worth the price you pay for it. I think it's something like $10 a year or something for this service, or maybe even less. They charge you by the year, and it's very, very cheap. A lot of the other ones are like $20 a month. I would never pay that if I can just use this one for a lot cheaper. The reason why I use a sniper is, I guess, two reasons. One is to streamline the buying process. So very important to not have to be sitting on eBay waiting for the clock to count down and then placing your bid at the last second. It just wastes time. It's unorganized. This helps me kind of bucket my tasks into different, um, yeah, just kind of bucket my tasks differently. So I'm bidding on everything at once, and then I'm vetting everything at once, and then I'm shipping everything at once instead of, oh, I see this card is ending in 15 minutes. I better go watch it until it ends, you know. So second reason is because I just enter in my max bid and it gives me a really good shot to win auctions, more so than if I were just bidding on my own. And it takes the emotion out of it. I just set my max bid and that is what it is. I'm not tempted to go higher than I should because I'm not watching the auction, counting down and bidding live. And oh, I got outbid. I guess I can do $5 more. I guess I can do $10 more. I just set my max bid and then it bids for me accordingly. So yeah, cool to see that Warrior Rips has been using it too. Highly recommend whatever sniping service you prefer. Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking me what I'm buying right now. I'm going to be tackling the whole topic of timing when it comes to buying. I'll tackle that a little bit later when we have some more viewers here. But essentially, you want to be as aware as you can be of PSA turnaround times. and you can go on their website and look at their estimated turnaround times. But this blowout forum here, the running PSA order tracker, you can just Google this and it'll be the first one. This is a great way to actually see what current turnaround times are, because you'll see a ton of posts like this. This is kind of the suggested format. People just update their orders on here for each step. So you can kind of come to the latest couple pages and look, like here's a value plus order here that took just over a month, value bulk that took uh, almost 3 months. So yeah, really, really valuable to be able to see PSA's current turnaround times. I would bookmark that um, or go to it often. You want to use that info to determine what you're going to buy and grade. My rule of thumb is that I never, ever, ever, ever hold new rookies into the season. I've got burned too many times doing it. I just don't do it. I take the guesswork out of it. I'm extra conservative. So that means I want to get my new rookies back from grading at most about 2 weeks before the season starts. And that's cutting it pretty close for me because then I have to start auctioning, which I also don't prefer to do. So all of that is to say that since PSA is taking close to 3 months for bulk orders right now, I am not grading any more basketball for this year. Any more new basketball rookies, I should say. The legends, the all-time grades, you can grade them year-round. They have established markets, established collector bases. Doesn't really matter when you grade them, including all-time greats that are still playing, like LeBron, Steph. They have established markets, so you're fine. But anyway, now I'm switching into baseball. I know it's the middle of the baseball season, so I'm trying to target rookies that are kind of undervalued right now, and then buying some players who I hope will have good playoff runs, and get them back during the playoffs, sell them right away, hopefully catch a good wave with that. Have you noticed the new banner on the PSA site about 45-day turnaround? Yes, I believe that only applies to value submissions and not value bulk. Um, which I just use value bulk. It's $5 cheaper per card. Yeah, yeah. So the value here is now 45 business days, which is good. I mean, progress is progress. I'm not going to complain with that. But the value bulk is still at the 65 business day estimate. In my experience, they haven't quite been reaching this number here. It's been 55-ish days to 60. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping they improve this. They've overpromised and underdelivered with a lot of things, and it's not great that this has been sitting here for as long as it has. But what can we do? What can we do? So anyway, let's dive into some specifics now, and we'll get into some of the topics later on. So I'm always buying Ohtani and Judge. We'll look at some of their stuff later, some of the stuff that I'm buying of theirs. But players that I'm really targeting right now, Jacob Wilson is one who I think is a good um, target right now. And another thing with timing, I'll go over this more later. Avoid buying new releases right when they drop. I'm not buying 2025 Topps Chrome yet. The prices are still astronomical. I'll go over kind of the nitty gritty of that and my thought process of that in a bit. But Bowman Chrome is a great set to target right now, I would say. Um, let's go ahead and start with that. Is it not going over 65 days because you also submit a regular submission? Yeah, yeah. I think that's a big part of it. The ones that I've submitted regular submissions with have been closer to, I would say, 50 days, 50 business days, 45 to 50 business days. So about 2.5 months. So yeah, that definitely could be part of it, but they don't start the business day counter until your order is out of order prep and into research and ID, which I think is unacceptable. I really hate that about PSA. I wish they would change that. I would rather have them put it at 85 days and start the clock right when it gets to PSA, because then it's locked in. You know that it's not going to sit in order prep for a month plus, just collecting dust, and they can use it as an excuse. Oh, we don't start the clock until it's checked into research and ID. I cannot stand that. But again, what can we do? What can we do about it? So yeah, numbered Bowman Chrome stuff is always going to do pretty well. For the top rookies, it's usually going to have good enough margins, even if you can't find super solid comps on it. If it's numbered and it's a top rookie and you time it right, it's usually going to have good margins on it. So, um, avoiding the base stuff and even the red logo stuff, I don't know that it's super good buy right now. I've bought a couple of them. Centering is a huge issue with 2025 Bowman Chrome, but other than that, it's been pretty clean. And on the normal Bowman Chrome, I guess, so not the prospects, not the firsts. The back corners are really good too. Like on some of the, well, not some, on all of the Bowman Chrome firsts from 2025, one back corner is, their team color, and that is just, ugh, I hate that. I hate those, the colored corners that just show whitening super easily. Why Jacob Wilson? Well, he's kind of sunk down a little bit, like price wise recently. And since it's still the middle of the season, I'm avoiding rookies that are kind of like um, super high priced right now. Nick Kurtz is the one that comes to mind. His teammate who has just shot through the roof. I'll buy him during the off season and grade him a lot once his prices come down a bit. But when it's during the season, I like to stick to the rookies that don't have as much hype, but I know they will have some hype in the off season. So Jacob Wilson falls into that category. I would say, I mean, James Wood, his prices are a little high right now, but he's another one that I'm definitely buying a lot of right now. Um, are you mostly into modern, or does it not matter if it's good opportunities? Also, what's the main sport that you buy? Yeah, I mostly do ultra modern because it's pretty liquid. For the most part, it's going to grade well. Um, I will never turn down opportunities to grade older cards if it makes sense. And I love grading older cards. I mean, that's where my collection, like, my collecting hobby really started, was obviously in the 2000s. All of the Topps Chrome stuff coming up in the 2000s was just my jam. So I'm always a sucker to buy that stuff and grade it. But that's a lot of my PC stuff as well, is the 2000s basketball. So what sports do I mostly buy to grade? Baseball and football. Basketball when there's a good rookie class, but this year has not been that way. With Cooper Flag, it will be. So got to prep for this coming year. Look at that centering. Wow. Do you buy it now or just auctions? I'm happy to buy it now, especially if I can negotiate a bit. But when I buy on eBay, I mostly stick to auctions just because it's a little bit more streamlined and consistent. If that makes sense. Big Mike, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Okay, we'll call that good on Jacob Wilson for now so I can show you guys some of this stuff. Often a large portion of desired player auctions are the large consigners. Yeah, large consigners more often than not are non-gradable. Yeah, great observation. I stay away from buying from big consigners because of that. I like to buy from smaller sellers, and I'll show you right now how I vet sellers. Okay, so this card here, you can see it's a little off-centered top to bottom. Um, a little off-center left to right. I'm more worried about top to bottom, but I think it's Oh, it's close. It's close. Look at the description, you look at the condition. Um, Near mint or better is always good. And I always look at their other items. If they have a lot of graded stuff in their other items, yeah, you want to avoid them, but this person doesn't. Smaller seller. So then what you do is once you find a good card you want to bid on, you just check comps and bid accordingly. This is out of 299. Use 130 point for comps. You always try to have a certain amount of inventory at all times to help the cash flow stable. I wouldn't say inventory as much as a pipeline of grading orders. I like to get rid of inventory as quick as I can, as soon as I get it back. So yeah, as you guys can see, his prices since, even mid-July have come down quite a bit. So that's why I think he's a pretty good opportunity to buy right now. Um, so I'll go ahead and bid like 1101. Always got to add that extra penny. So I like to have a consistent pipeline of orders. Right now, I mean, for the past little while, I've been doing twice a month orders. I'm starting to get to the point where it's once a week, which is my goal. Once a week orders. Eventually, if slash when I take this full time, I'd love to be doing twice a week orders. But having that consistent pipeline of grading orders coming in and out of PSA, that kind of helps to keep the cash flow going. I bought a card that's in terrible condition. Should I still list it? Like list it to sell it? Yeah, yeah. As long as if it has like major damage, I would list the damage and note the condition here. So if it has a crease in it, don't say that it's near mint or better. Say that it's very good or excellent or whatever. Um, Yeah, so and don't send stuff like that to consigners because they're not going to catch it. They're just going to list it and someone else is going to get stuck with it. It happens, it's part of the game. If it doesn't match what the seller described it as, so if your seller was describing that as near mint or better and it has a huge crease in it, I would return it personally. That's within the bounds of returning. But if you kind of just got stuck with it, kind of unlucky, yeah, just list it, note the damage, and it's not going to kill you. And having integrity is always the best way to go. Um, we all know of situations where people do not have integrity, and it's a slippery slope, and they can really pay for it. So I still think 60-40 centering is worth sending in if nothing else is wrong with the card. Yeah, I agree with that. And PSA even came out and said that in certain cases they still will allow 60-40 centering. Um, so yeah, I agree with that. Centering is the thing that I'm least concerned about with grading with PSA. Corners are the big deal with PSA. Even slight corner damage or corner whitening will knock it from a 10 to a 9. Like that right there, that corner looks a little soft to me. That would be enough to bring it down to a 9. This one's so low right now, I might still consider just putting a low bid on it, see if I can get it for under comps and then maybe sell it once the playoffs come around. Um, Picked up a couple Walker Jenkins numbered. Yeah, he's another one that I've been buying. Yeah, yeah. I think he's a good buy right now as well. So yeah, not a lot of graded stuff. No graded stuff here, so that's good. I actually just bought one of these the other day, so I have a pretty good idea what market value is. I'm just gonna, you know, I'll bid like 60 on it, 61. If I get it for that, great. I'll take it. Just resell it raw when the playoffs come around. You adjust your main and mirror bids in Gixen. Um, no, I just fill out this year bid thing um, on the main tab. That's all I really do. Yeah, I've never had any issues just doing it that way. Um, Okay, let's see. Is that white line next to his right shoulder not a big deal? Oh, you're talking about this right here? Um, I don't know that that's on the card itself, if that's what you're referring to. Um, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't really strike me as concerning. What are some lessons learned so far on the journey? Oh, a lot. Oh yeah, that's his left shoulder. The white line. Let's see. I mean, are you talking about this one or this one? Those all just look like specks that were either on the scanner or on the penny sleeve or on the top loader or on the surface of the card that I could just wipe off. Yeah, not too concerning. Um, yeah, surface. It's hard. It's hard to tell on surface. There's just no way to see everything. The one near the edge. Oh, okay, yeah, this one there. I think that's just a little fleck I could wipe off. You never know. You're gonna get stuff that has some surface imperfections. PSA is more lenient if it's just one minor surface thing, not a big deal, especially if it's in a not obvious place. But by and large, you're not going to be able to really judge the surface perfectly from pictures. That's the risk you run. It's part of the game, and that's yeah. I'm happy to take that risk. That's fine. So lessons learned so far on the journey. Well, I guess this is a pretty good segue into some of the topics that I wanted to talk about. Um, So we will start with one of the biggest lessons that is super important. And if you can learn this just starting out, you're going to be leagues above other people who are just starting out. This is huge, and it's very difficult for whatever reason to learn. Let me pull up a little notepad here. So all about timing. You can do everything else right. You can grade the right card. You can inspect it. You can gem them. But if you don't get the timing right, you will lose money, or at least it's very easy to lose money. So there's two very important things to keep in mind when it comes to timing. First is timing new releases. Second is timing sports seasons. These are critical. So with timing new releases, you want to wait to buy new singles until around 1 month after release. You can look at any set that comes out. Right now, it's happening with 2025 Chrome Baseball. When the supply is low because the set has just dropped, the first few comps are going to be huge on eBay. They're artificially overvalued because of the illusion of lack of supply, if that makes sense. You know there's going to be tons more people ripping, tons more cards flooding the market, but temporarily there's only a few. So the first few comps of everything just go for crazy amounts. After a week, things have come down quite a bit. After a month is the optimal time. It's not always a month. You kind of have to look and use the data, really wait for that initial price drop. Sometimes it's a month and a half or whatever. But the main idea here is you want to buy during the optimal window, is what I would call it, which means lots of packs still being ripped, but price initial prices have come down. Or I guess just yeah, high initial prices have come down. So I find that to be around a month after each release. With Optic Preview, I kind of messed that up. I started about a month after, and it was still not quite early enough. Um, Probably would have been better at a month and a half. But anyway, that's the gist of it. Timing sports seasons, this is huge. So this takes into account PSA's turnaround times. So let's say that it's 3 months for bulk orders, about what it is now. That means for football, you want to grade from around February. I mean, you could do January for new rookies who aren't in the playoffs, January through May, because the goal is sell everything by mid-August before the season starts. So if you're submitting your last order in May, middle of May, get it back by mid-August, you still have a couple weeks. For basketball, you can grade from about May, especially for rookies who aren't in the playoffs, through July. Sell everything in early October before the season starts. And for baseball, the window is a little bit bigger. Like, yeah, I'm buying baseball now, and I buy baseball until like honestly like December, and then sell everything by early March at or right before spring training. And then yeah, adjust accordingly as PSA's turnaround times change. If it's 2 months, then you have an extra month to grade each of these, which is huge. Like you're saying, Corey, yeah. Last year around this time, they were turning orders around in a month. That allowed me to grade tons and tons and tons of Wemby rookies, even in September. And that was huge. That hugely changes the trajectory of your profit. When PSA does better, we all do better. Um, but yeah, we can't control it. So the best we can do is just be conservative and use their current turnaround times, whatever they are. This is the hardest thing to do because it feels like all the gradable cards will be gone, but they're still in the wild. Yeah, I think, yeah, for me too, it's easy to underestimate the sheer volume of cards that are coming onto the market. I'm still finding 2018 Ohtani rookies raw that are in pristine condition. And baseball kind of provides that unique opportunity where not as many baseball collectors grade, I feel like, as the other two. So it's good to be into baseball. Baseball is the sport that I know the least of the three, but this year I'll probably grade the most baseball cards of the three just because the competition is a little bit less. And yeah, I mean, I can still find older cards, even Judge rookies from 2017 that are still gradable. I submitted a couple Mookie Betts 2014 Bowman Chrome were they refractors? I can't remember what they were, but yeah, I mean, they're still out there, and especially now, they're way overprinting things. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of cards. There's no shortage of cards. You will thank yourself waiting, giving it some time. Don't worry about the fear of missing out, the FOMO. It gets to me too, believe me. It's taking everything I have not to go all in on 2025 Chrome Baseball. But what's going to happen? You buy it now, grade it in bulk, and get it back in 3 months. You're going to be losing money on your PSA 10s. And that is just the worst scenario to be in. So timing your buys, huge, 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 huge lesson that I've learned. I cannot stress this enough. You can do everything else right, and if you don't get this right, it's it's a bloodbath. So yeah, just very good to be aware of these things. So yeah, that's the rundown on timing your buys. Any questions? Let me know in the chat. Bulk turnaround is 2 months with a value max or higher. They've been a week slower on both that and entering R&D. Have an order that entered prep June 20th, still there. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Definitely still a good idea to submit your bulk orders in the same box as a value max or regular order. Saves you about a month of processing times for the bulk order because they'll get checked in on the same day. Sorry, talking a lot, talking fast. I need some water. Um, but yeah, anything, yeah, that's a great strategy to keep bulk coming a little bit quicker. But yeah, they're still taking their sweet time for sure. Okay, I have a couple more discussion points. We'll kind of sprinkle those in throughout. We're going to go over what I do with my raw rejects. That's one of the most common questions I get asked. A lot of people freak out about the cards that aren't gradable and they have to what do I do with them? We'll go over that in just a bit. It's not as daunting as a lot of people make it out to be. Looks like it might just be a little bit of fluff on the edge there. Definitely something that you want to look for though. The centering left to right is a little off here, but nothing concerning for me. Um, yeah, I'll be buying stuff like this a lot once September, October comes around. Okay, another seller with no graded stuff. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. Out of 250, it's probably about the same price as the out of 299. So I don't want to go much higher than this starting bid. Um, 20, 12, 25. Yeah, I mean, I'll go 16 on it, I guess. Might be a dumb question. No such thing as a dumb question here. What's the best way to find out when new packs release? That is a good question. I'm very active in Facebook groups, so it's pretty easy for me because I'll see when people start posting their new products either in breaks or as singles. I don't recommend joining breaks, by the way. I just see a lot of them on Facebook groups. So you'll see when the singles start coming on Facebook if you do it that route. I know Beckett has a pretty good release calendar online, but things can differ a little bit between retail and hobby, and so it can be a little tricky. Um, but in general, I just keep my eye on Facebook and then eBay where applicable. I'll just see when the singles start coming on there and wait about a month from then. And really you can backtrack too, like if you see a new product that you think maybe has been out for a bit, just look at comps. If there's comps that are over a month old and you can see the the big price drop, look comparing comps from a month ago to comps now, that's a good indicator that it's a good time to buy. For the sales tax exemption, do you ultimately have to pay taxes at the end of the year on those purchases? Ohio is sales tax free for 2 weeks right now, and it's been super nice. Want to apply for one? Yeah, so sales tax exemption, it varies by state. So you'll have to look up your state requirements. For my state, the only requirement is that I need an LLC if I am going to have a sales tax exempt license, which I do have both. I do have an LLC and I do have a sales tax exempt license. Super nice. So as long as I pay my business taxes and go about that the right way, resolve my 1099s and my income from my profit from sports cards, I'm good to go there. So each state varies a little bit, but that's how it is in my state. There's usually pretty good contact emails for people in each state that can help you out with that. I was really tempted on this card. I might still chuck a bid on it, but PSA 10s is not quite enough margin for me on this with how big of a risk it is. I think PSA 10s were going for about 1200, and I'm not gonna. I mean, the raw comps are between 800 and 1000, but that's just not enough margin for me. I put that on my watch list a bit ago, so anyway. There's another out of 299. This one looks pretty well centered. Nothing too crazy here, and I love the light corners. Check out other listings. Oh, Bronny James auto, nice. Roki is another one who I think is a good buy right now. Got one graded card, a couple SGCs. Another graded card. What you can do is you can compare serial numbers. If they're like sequential serial numbers, you know that they're probably grading cards. But this person has cards from multiple grading companies, non-sequential serial numbers, and a lot of raw stuff as well. So I'm not too worried about it. Um, I'll go ahead and move forward. It says near mint or better here. Nothing crazy in the description. And this one has $1.32 shipping, so I can bid a little bit more on this one than I did with the first one. I would go like 14 on this one. I have a Roki out of 50. Nice. Yeah, if it looks gradable, if it's from a good set that historically has pretty good margins, might be a good candidate. Anyway, that's a few Jacob Wilsons. I won't go through all of these right now. We'll move on. We'll do some James Wood now. And then we'll get into some 2024 guys. 2024 Topps Chrome Baseball was one of the cleanest sets that I've ever graded, so I'm still kind of on the lookout for some of those guys. So let's watch a couple of these and then we will go into my next discussion topic. Whoops. 44.99 is a lot. I don't think. And 740 delivery, yeah, that's too far out of reach for that card anyway. It's a little off center. Well, that's 89.99. Already in the grade pile. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anything numbered is probably going to have good margins if you can get it at a good price. Okay. Let's see. A lot of numbered stuff, though, of his right now. That's all right. We'll go through a couple of these, but before we do that, let's move on to the next topic. So, what to do with raw rejects. So, the number one thing that I would say regarding this topic is don't let the fear of buying ungradable cards stop you from buying any cards at all. I see so many people who, I want to get into grading. I'm so nervous that the cards I buy aren't going to be gradable. Well, don't start with downtowns. Don't start with $500 cards. Start with $10 to $20 cards. Diversify, and you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. If you're getting like 60 to 70% of your cards are gradable, that is a great percentage. You're going to be just fine. Um, there's a couple things that I would add in terms of, I guess, so the worry, right, is that you'll buy a raw card, you won't be able to grade it, and then you'll have to resell it and you'll lose money on it. That's fine. That's the expectation. Be okay with losing around 10%. I would even say 15% on raw rejects. That's fine. That's not going to kill you. It's much, much better to lose 15% reselling it raw rather than grade it, wait 3 months, get a 9, and then lose 30%. So that's the essence of it right there. So don't be afraid of buying cards, and also don't submit everything you buy just because you don't want to take a loss on it, and you'll hope the grader will overlook the issues. So anyway, And there's a couple things you can do in terms of mitigating this. Buy lots. Well, I would just say in general, buy on Facebook for 90% of comps. This is where I've been doing a lot of my buying recently. Um, and you can often pretty easily negotiate for 90% of comps, sometimes 85%, especially if you're buying bigger lots. And that right there basically gives you a 10 to 15% margin and cancels that out. So then you can basically move from losing 15% to breaking even on reselling. And even better than that, buy cards that have a likelihood of increasing in value within the next month or two. So examples of those guys right now, Otani and Judge, especially Aaron Judge, with his prices have dipped a little bit with, being on the injured list. So they're not going to stay that way, especially as the Yankees are kind of poised to hopefully make a playoff run. You can sell them before the playoffs, or with me, I'm grading them now. I'll probably get him. I won't get him back before the playoffs start. Hopefully, he'll have a good playoff run and his prices will increase a bit. But when it comes to the raw cards, you can resell those right away or within the next month, and they'll likely tick up in price a little bit for both these guys. So if you combine these two right here, which is, I'm going to show you some of my recent buys in just a bit. If you can combine these two things right here, then you can even get to the point where you're profiting 10% or so on reselling. So this shouldn't necessarily be like the gold standard of raw rejects. Um, like I said, always just be okay with losing 15%, especially if it's in the name of moving things quickly and keeping your cash flow going. But if you're strategic about things, it's not crazy to break even on this stuff. Um, yeah, so that's the gist of that. In terms of actually reselling them, I just list them as buy it now on Facebook. I note condition accordingly. Most of the cards that I buy that are rejects are still in near mint condition. They have minor flaws that I don't think will gem. I don't think you need to list, will not gem in every description of every card. Um, yeah, I don't think that's necessary as long as you're transparent about any major condition issues. I think that's fine. Um, in the case of um, duplicates or lower end, you can auction and just keep things moving. Um, sorry, I meant to say eBay here. You can list them on Facebook too. Nothing wrong with that as well. It's probably a good place for a lot of them. I wish James Wood was eligible for Rookie of the Year. Yeah, yeah. I would imagine Trout is a good year-round guy as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's one that you can grade year-round. Jeter, Ken Griffey Jr., any of the all-time greats, even if they're still playing like Trout, definitely okay to grade year-round. Are you grading Judge rookies? If so, what cards are you having success with? Yeah, good question. Yeah. So let's go ahead and use that as a segue to look at some of my recent buys. So let's see. Got a couple things pulled up here. Um, I'll go ahead and expand this. Hopefully everyone can see this okay. This was one 2-card lot I just bought. I think I paid 320 for it or 330 for it. About 165 per card. This Ellie is out of 75. It looks pretty good. I think I'm going to take the chance and grade it. It's not a perfect card. It's got a couple surface things, but I think I'm going to go for it. And then I haven't really looked at this one closely yet, but hopefully this one's gradable as well. So that's one buy that I've had. I suggest always trying to sell on Facebook at eBay comps first, raw and graded. Yeah, yeah. I definitely do that with graded. I don't as much for raw, but I probably should do more of that. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Doesn't hurt to try, and even if you can sell at 90%, um, you're going to be netting more than you would selling on eBay. So, yeah, Facebook is a great avenue to sell. I bought this as well. This will be a good value max card or regular card to speed up my next bulk submission. It's not a perfect card. Corners, edges, and centering look good, but the surface does have some minor issues. I would expect a 9 on this, but I bought this on Facebook at 90%, so I'm not too worried about it, even if it grades a 9. And it's a break-even card. It's worth it just because I'll be able to get that bulk order processed quicker. And there's an outside chance it gets a 10. Who knows? Okay, and then this is okay. So these next few pictures are going to be lots that I bought, um, or one lot that I bought. I paid $1,030 for this, which came out to about 90% of comps. We've got some Ohtani rookies, freshman flash, rookie of the year favorites. A couple of the tops ones like the update, the complete set or the rookie set. Some Panini unlicensed, Chrome pitching, some more unlicensed stuff. But optic rookies sell really well. Numbered here, numbered here. So can't complain with that. Some more unlicensed Otanis. Nothing crazy, but there's margins to be made when they grade well. And again, I got it at 90%. I'll take that all day long. Some more Otanis, some paper rookies, which are tougher to grade than Chrome, but we'll see how they do. Um, so yeah, there's that one. And then Judges. So this is a card that I do really well on for Ohtani and Judge. Allen and Ginter rookies. The services are really, really nice, and they just tend to be sharp. Even now, I don't know if it's the card stock or what it is, but these two sets for Judge and Ohtani were printed very, very well. These ones are tougher grades, but I also like just the Topps Chrome catching rookies. Those have graded really well for me. Refractors as well. Yeah, those ones have done really well. Sadly, there was none of those in this lot, but yeah, I target those quite a bit for Judge rookies. Um, Big Otani lots are gold. Yeah, yeah. I actually have another one that is waiting for me at the post office. I was hoping to show that tonight, but I went into the post office to grab it, and the line was just super long. So I'll grab it tomorrow and look through it. I haven't inspected any of these yet. I just snapped some pictures of them for the purpose of showing them tonight. But yeah, I'm hoping even if 40% of them are gradable, even if 30% of them are gradable, I consider that a win because I got it at 90%. And this strategy here applies. I think they'll get a bit of a price bump in the next couple months, and I'll be able to, at worst, break even, at best, make a little profit, and I'm okay with that. I'm very much okay with that. So there's a couple of my recent purchases. I I also bought. Oh, I should have gotten these pictures ready. I haven't gotten these cards in yet, but I also just bought an Ohtani X-Fractor, just the Topps Chrome 150. Um, Topps Chrome pitching rookie. I bought the X-Fractor for about 800 bucks. Um, yeah, I hope that one's gradable. I very much hope that one's gradable. That'd be a big one. Ginter rookie cup card, rookie of the year favorites grade very well. Yeah, I've graded a lot of the rookie cup Chrome of Ohtani. Surprisingly, have really good margins. I guess not super surprising, but and yeah, they do grade really well. So I haven't graded any rookie of the year favorites yet. Happy to get that one in. Hopefully, it grades well. So yeah, I mean, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up. You're not going to be able to find lots like that every day, but if you're putting yourself in the position to buy If you're putting out buying posts on Facebook, if you're developing relationships with sellers, you're putting yourself in the position to get more of those lots, you know, basically have first dibs on a lot of those lots. This is why I talk so much about tracking your sellers and keeping good relationships with them, because it just it takes so much work out of it when you have developed relationships with people. If you don't, you're basically starting from scratch every time. You're going through new sellers, you don't know what you're going to get. But if you get gradable cards that grade well, track those sellers and go back to them. There's a way to track sellers in the profit tracker that I have, link in the description. If you're not a part of that, you can try it out for free and see if it's a good fit. I'm not offended if it's not a good fit. However you track them is fine, but I think it's super, super, super important to track your sellers, because you just never know when lots like this are going to fall right into your lap, and it's just like a gold mine, and it's less work for you. If, if I can buy 50 cards in one lot instead of going through eBay auctions and bidding on 50 different auctions, I'll do it all day long. I save on shipping. I can usually get a better deal because I can, it's easier for the seller too to just package everything in one go. And it's just a win-win all around. You develop good relationships, and then they'll come back to you. If you're easy to work with, if you pay strong, people will come back to you. I have people messaging me every day on Facebook, messaging me new cards that they get in, because I'm easy to work with. I don't try to nickel and dime people. If people have raw, clean cards that fit my criteria, I will pay 90 to 100% of comps all day long on those. And I recommend you guys do the same. Yeah, so I've talked a lot about buying on Facebook. If anyone needs help doing that, if anyone wants the list of groups that I use, let me know. But please, please, please track your sellers. If you want to use the Synergy Cards app to do it, I have a really easy way to do it in there where it tracks your sellers. You can connect each one of your cards to each seller that you buy, and then you can track your gem rate by seller, your profit by seller. These are super, super valuable metrics. So feel free to try that out. Again, you can try it for free. Um, but yeah, I guess that's enough of my rant on that. So that's the gist of some of the things that I've been buying lately. Anyone have any questions, let me know, and we can hash stuff out. I don't know. Okay, this one does have the best offer option, so we'll see if this is worth it. Yeah, centering looks good enough. Nothing stands out to me on the surface. That I think is just a dust fleck, as well as those, maybe on the scanner. You'll see this card is, has the typical chrome bend to it a little bit. That is concerning right there. It might be a corner crease, but it also could just be something on the scanner, because it looks like it kind of extends past the card. Yeah, don't worry about cards with the natural chrome bend like this. That's never going to be a problem for grading. Um, if there's a crease, that's a huge problem. Never grade anything with a crease. But if it's just a normal chrome bend like that, it's nothing to be concerned about. Dylan Cruz is another guy. I'm thinking of other guys. Sorry, kind of a little all over the place right now. But Dylan Cruz is another good target right now. Yeah, no graded stuff here. Everything looks good according to what we can see. Let's see what prices are looking like. And we still have some pretty awesome agenda items to go over tonight. I'm going to talk about the giveaway for August, bulk tracking your bulk lot purchases. Those are the two main ones that I wanted to go over tonight, as well as any other questions that you guys have. Are you checking raw to PSA 10 margins on every card you buy? This is a fantastic question. This is another piece that people get hung up with, is if they can't find graded comps for a card, they just will stay away from that card. And I don't think that's bad to do at first when you're learning. Um, but the short answer is no, I don't check that because I have my own personal historic data to go off of. So a lot of cards like this, they're not going to have PSA 10 comps yet. Um, so what I do is I use my historic data, which I have tracked. I have all my cards tracked in the Synergy Cards app. I can sort it by profit. I can sort it by, in a lot of different ways. Then I can look back a year, look back 2 years. What was I buying around this time that had good margins? What types of rookies in each sport have good margins? Then I can kind of use that data to be ready for the following year. So data tracking is huge. In this case, I'm using data from last year, 2024 Bowman Chrome numbered stuff did really well for me. Jackson Merrill, Ellie De La Cruz, Jackson Churio had solid margins on all that stuff. So therefore, I can, with pretty good confidence, say that the same will be that way this year for the top rookies. Hopefully that makes sense. When you're starting out, not a bad idea to only buy cards with PSA 10 comps. But if you're wanting to buy cards about a month into a new release, you're not going to have many, if any, PSA 10 comps to go off of. And using PSA 10 comps can also backfire a bit because the same thing that happens with raw cards on a new release happens with PSA 10 cards when the first few copies hit the market. The supply is very low at first, so the first few will be artificially very high, and then they'll come down quite a bit. So you want to go with proven strategies. The best way to find out what proven strategies are is just try things out, and then in a year, look back, see what worked for that sport, and repeat it. Ditch the stuff that doesn't work. Quick water break. Um, so yeah, this card is worth much less than this guy's asking for it. But I can definitely make an offer. Um, I'll go 45. If he declines it, I'll message him and see if we can. Okay, it was sent. If he declines it, I'll send him a message, see if we can work something out. Sometimes I try to do deals on Instagram, like take people off eBay and do deals on Instagram. Um, I know that eBay doesn't like that because you're avoiding their fees, but a lot of times sellers are willing to work with you a little bit more if you go elsewhere. And if you do that, though, use PayPal goods and services to pay. Don't get scammed. That was that one. There's a big one here. Both of these top corners, this corner especially looks a bit soft and white. Yeah, so there's a little bit of softness there. That's enough. That's enough to bring it to a 9. PSA is tough on corners. That one actually looks sharp. But yeah, that one there, that's enough. Enough to bring it down. Okay. Insert, but we'll still see what we can do. And I should mention too, another thing that I'm doing right now, I last year I set up at one card show. It was the first card show I ever set up at in November, and it was a ton of fun, and a lot of people were buying my baseball stuff. So I'm also trying to buy inventory that I can grade and get back around that time that I know will sell well at that show because I think I'm going to set up for it again. You don't need to ever set up at shows, and I don't even think it was like necessarily the best use of my time. But it was a ton of fun, and it was successful. So I think I'm going to do it again and try to be ready for it as much as possible. So yeah, I didn't have enough baseball last year, so I want to be a little bit more ready for it. So yeah, mostly raw stuff here. Saw BGS slab. It's not very concerning to me. It does say ungraded excellent. That's not necessarily a red flag as long as all of their other raw cards say excellent. Thought I was crazy noticing all these white corners with a bunch of people bidding. Glad to see you noticing the white corners. Yeah. Yeah, corners are what they're toughest on. Excellent there as well. Some people just kind of put everything as excellent just so they don't have to deal with kind of super picky buyers who will just return everything if it isn't pristine, which I can respect that. Okay, this one is listed as near mint or better though, so that is slightly concerning. That one's near mint or better as well. That one's excellent. Yeah, so I'm probably going to pass on this one just because we saw that not everything was listed as near or as excellent. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. I looked at the auto. Okay, let's move on to something else. A lot of people just stick to buying rookies, and that's fine. But with people like Otani, he has such a big collector base that it's super advantageous to grade stuff of his from just about every set. So that's what I do. Don't want to grade the base stuff or anything, but anything numbered, pretty much anything numbered of Otani is going to have margin if it grades well. I guess I can, well, uh, regular Bowman has not been too great, honestly, this year. Lots of corner whitening, which is common for non-chrome cards. Like this one right here, I can already tell that there's corner whitening there. Man, lack of numbered stuff. Huge lack of numbered stuff. We'll just go Otani 25 and we will not do, I don't know if they let you do two phrases in a, I doubt they do. I just don't want Topps Chrome yet, 2025 Topps Chrome. Okay. Look, take a look and see. Curry and LeBron are the same way. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. Um, I forgot too that I wanted to show you guys my a bunch of cards that I'm just about to submit to PSA as well, in conjunction with some of the recent buys I've had. Okay, good. So we'll do that really quick. And I'll kind of pause this video as needed to kind of explain my reasoning. Um, so we've got some Otani Blue Heritage. I don't know why it's so blurry right now. Let's see if we can. This quality. Maybe that was a bad idea. I like to filter by serial number to only get the numbered cards. Oh wow, I didn't realize they had that. Is that new? I've looked for that a ton before. Never found it. Okay, gonna refresh this really quick. It's good to know. Start doing that. So yeah, I've got probably 30 or so cards here. Um, we'll see if this will work. Okay, so yeah, got the Otani Blue Sparkle Heritages. Yeah, I mean, just a short print card that's Otani, that's in a Dodger uniform. It's a newer product. So yeah, pretty easy to grade there. Have this Cal Bowman Chrome rookie, numbered out of 299. Couple numbered Aaron Judge cards from last year's Bowman Chrome and Bowman. Sapphire Aaron Judge. Yeah, a lot of those stuff like that. It's like lower end stuff that I know will sell really well at the show that I'm going to be setting up at. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process behind those. This was a sick buy. This is numbered to 10. It's the Ben Baller Aaron Judge from 2021 Chrome. I got it. I feel like I got it at a really good price. I think I paid 150 for it and it's numbered to 10. I mean that just seems so cheap to me. We got some Aaron Judge, an Aaron Judge rookie there. I think that's just a Topps one. The Topps Chrome version of that card, that was one of the ones I was mentioning earlier that's a huge target for me to grade. Pete Crow Armstrong, out of 50, I believe. Otani Gold Foil. Otani Finest, numbered. Sorry about the blur. Mookie Betts, All Kings. It'll be a low pop card. Hopefully, they'll be making a good playoff run by the time I get that back. Charlie Condon, Sapphire. I love this card as well. This will be one that kind of breaks my heart a little bit if it doesn't gem. It looks so good. It's a 2022 Otani Bowman Chrome Gold refractor, numbered to 50. Oh, that would be amazing if that gemmed. Got a die cut Otani out of 99. Some unlicensed Otani, but it's pretty low numbered. Gold Otani from 2021. More numbered Otani, Bowman's best. Topps Chrome Black. Even with the black backs, I've found that they're pretty clean. The surfaces are good, and those corners are usually sharp. Take a look at the corners, the back corners, but I've I've found that they're pretty clean. And I don't know if you guys watched my most recent PSA reveal. I had a numbered Otani Topps Chrome Black card that had one of the best ROIs on a card that I've ever had. I bought the card for $40 and I sold it for $325 net. So just amazing. So I'm going to repeat that. A numbered Donruss stuff, some rookies, lower end rookies, another Topps Chrome Black out of 75, another Bowman's Best out of 250, Bowman rookie, James Wood rookie. It's kind of similar to stuff we're buying right now. Pete Crow Armstrong 2022, or sorry, 2020 first refractor. Some more Otani rookies, self-explanatory. Gold label rookie there. Ellie image variation, Bowman Chrome rookie. Jackson Merrill green sapphire rookie auto numbered to 99. Mookie out of 150. Another Mookie out of 399 or something. 299, and then a Briseno to end it off, numbered. So yeah, there's kind of I mean, it's a lot of stuff that we're buying tonight, but a lot of Otani. I mean, a lot of Otani because I want to wait a little bit to go heavy into the rookies, Nick Kurtz and even James Wood. I want to wait till kind of off season before I really start to buy a lot of their stuff. And also I'm kind of waiting on 2025 Topps Chrome. But anyway, Otani and Judge are pretty evergreen players to grade, and their markets are saturated. A lot of their raw cards get snatched up, but there are a lot still out there. Don't be discouraged. In fact, we can just look for some rookies right now. Eliminate Topps anymore. Can people still hear me okay? Getting a YouTube error here. Can people still hear me okay? Let me know if you can still hear me. Can everyone still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. Okay, I think I'm still good. Just getting a weird error from YouTube here. Um, so I generally try to stay away from the Topps paper stuff, just because it is more condition sensitive. Chrome is always going to be a better bet. Um, but huge lots like this, I'm really into. Might be able to make a deal with this guy off of eBay. Even unlicensed stuff, if it's nicer, if it's numbered, I will not shy away from that. It's off center, top to bottom. Refractor from PC Sports Cards. Want to avoid the big consigners like was mentioned earlier. Let's see. And the HMT ones are a little bit more condition sensitive with the surface. The HMT 32, so that's the debut, the batting update, Chrome update. Very good card to grade, as well as the Chrome version of this one, the number 150 pitching. Very good to grade as well. Anyway, and a lot of these rookies, if you buy on Facebook and if you develop relationships with your sellers, you'll be able to find gradable copies on Facebook as well. Um, so food for thought there. Let's see, is it? Can someone just tell me in the chat if everything's still good? I'm just a little paranoid with this YouTube error message that keeps showing up. Apologies if that's annoying, but just want to make sure people can see my screen and hear me okay. Um, there's a couple more things I wanted to go over though. We'll do that in just a minute once we get confirmation here. Something like this, it's 4 paper cards. Sort of tougher to grade, but if the corners look good, okay, now I can, okay, Here come the chats. Appreciate it. Okay, I think okay, the chat got behind for a second, so okay. That corner looks a little bit off. Dark corners are always tough. Um, yeah, I mean, I consider this one. It's a pretty, eh, it's not outrageous asking price. Um, anyway, what I would do is I would just comp these separately and then set my bid accordingly. Um, but really quick, I wanted to go over a couple more things. So I've been doing giveaways this summer. I haven't really announced them to YouTube at all. I've been meaning to, but I have not really done a good job of that, so my apologies. Um, so as a lot of you know, I run the Synergy Cards app, the profit tracking app. So I've been running giveaways for my users over there. I'm doing another one this August. I've been giving away PSA 10 slabs from my PSA orders that I get back. So I haven't picked out the card yet for the August giveaway, but it'll be a PSA 10 slab of a good player. And everyone who is a subscriber to or a user of the Synergy Cards app is automatically entered in, even if you're just using the free trial. So if you want to enter in and you're not a user or you're not on the free trial, you can start the free trial. Just use the code free before you check out. It's a 1 month long free trial. You'll get reminded before it ends, so you don't need to worry about any surprise charges. Even if you want to enter in the giveaway by using the free trial and then cancel before a payment, that's fine. I just wanted to announce the giveaway here on YouTube for anyone who wanted to participate. So link in the description for that if you want to sign up and if you're not already signed up. If you are signed up, you're automatically entered in. And then if you write a 1 paragraph review of the site, then you get an additional entry. So just kind of a way to encourage people who like it to write reviews. Again, no pressure. And again, if you want to enter the giveaway and then just dip out after, that's fine. Um, but yeah, just I haven't been good at sharing that with my YouTube audience, so I wanted to bring that up. Um, the July giveaway was a Michael Penix Jr. Optic Preview Pink PSA 10. So I selected the winner for that a couple days ago and sent that one out. So do another one here in August, and I may even continue them into September, depending on how things go. So um, let me see if I missed any questions here. Nasty gold out of 50, definitely 500 plus with that gems. Yeah, yeah. I think a PSA 9 just went for 300. So the gold refractors out of 50 are just have huge premiums. Um, and I bought the card for 150. So yeah, I think yeah, a lot of potential there. I think it potentially could be an $800 card if I get it back at the right time. If it gems, but even if it nines, I think I'll make money on it. But it looks so good. I really hope it gems. Um, so anyway, this is another card that I actually my first one ever. I bought one a couple weeks ago, and it's at PSA now. And it also looks really good. I hope it gems. Really, really hope it gems. Big thing to look at is this back top right corner on these ones. Um, looks like there is a speck on it. Looks like it might be a soft corner, but it's really hard to tell. I'm going to go ahead and contact the seller here. Just put it out there. If he doesn't respond, that's fine. But I'll probably wait on his response and then bid accordingly on that. Um, so yeah, the spec is definitely not on the corner. I agree. I think the spec is easily cleanable, but this, yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I just with a card this expensive, sometimes an extra message can save you bad purchase. I'll go ahead and check out the other items. But yeah, okay, so just one other item and it's graded older serial number, so I'm not too worried about that. Um, so yeah, I mean, again, you can find clean Otani rookies on eBay, Facebook. It's awesome. Okay, so yeah, I'll skip that one for now. Check this one out. Only one picture. That's great. Looks pretty good though from the terrible picture that was posted here. A little off center, left to right. Can't even see the top. Wait. Oh, it's like, I swear I saw the top corners a second ago. Near mint or better. Let's check out the description. And as weird as it sounds, sometimes bad quality photos like this are actually a green flag. Because a lot of people who grade cards, they take this more seriously, and therefore they're going to be taking nicer photos. Um, so yeah, let's look it up. Chrome stuff. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I could see this being a 70 $70 card or so at ballpark. So I'll bid like 1601. That's kind of cutting it close. I'd like to be in more of like the 12 range, but it's Otani, tends to sell pretty well, so okay, overpaying slightly on his stuff. Okay, so one more agenda item really quick that I wanted to go over is actually a new feature on the Synergy Cards app that has been heavily requested that's almost done. And that is tracking your bulk lot purchases, an easy way to track that. So a lot of people have said, oh, I go through dollar bins at card shows. I don't want to enter in each card separately. Is there a way that I can track bulk lots? And then when I enter in my sales, I can tie multiple sales back to one single bulk lot purchase. So I'm working on that feature. It's almost done. I'm going to be releasing it soon and asking for feedback on it. But I think that that's a great way to track a lot of purchases. Like even me for a bigger lot like the Otani and Judge lot that I showed earlier, I want to be able to track it that way, just in one purchase and then multiple sales, because it just saves a lot of time. And I am huge when it comes to efficiency. In a perfect world, I would want to spend all my time buying cards, inspecting cards, and sending them to PSA. So the closer I can get to that, the better. And this bulk lot purchase feature, it's going to be coming out soon. It's going to be a game changer for sure. So wanted to highlight that, something to be excited about. Um, and yeah, for those who use the website and anyone who starts the free trial, I'd love to hear your feedback on it once it comes out. So yeah, that's all that I wanted to share about that. Um, Trying to think of if there was any other stuff that I wanted to go over. I guess there was. Um, Hopefully the chat hasn't gotten behind again. I have a feeling it might have. Maybe there's just nothing in the chat for a while, but Apologies if things are lagging a bit. I wanted to show, let's see. Yeah, I wanted to show a recent Facebook post, just because I have a lot of people, even people who view the channel a lot. I just feel like with videos, it's hard because not everyone watches all the videos all the way through, and I share things kind of throughout each video, but not everyone catches everything. So, anyway, I have a lot of people messaging me asking about my Facebook process. When I buy on Facebook, I just put out buying posts like this. That way, I'm not wasting time scrolling through other people's posts, scrolling through a lot of garbage, a lot of things that I'm not looking for. I try to be pretty specific, but also general enough to where I'm going to generate comments, which will get my posts seen by more people. List the players that you're buying, and then, you know, I added that I'm not interested in 2025 Topps Chrome right now. You're going to get people who don't see this or who don't see the raw only, or who don't see this part and they'll post a bunch of crap or slabs or stuff that you specifically say you don't want. It's annoying, but it does help it get pushed out to more people. So, not a huge deal. Um, like here, I got a guy posting slabs, bunch of slabs. But if you're willing to take the time and weed through it, you can get a lot of solid buys. This one here, I was about to pull the trigger on it, but I asked for a back photo, and one of the corners had some whitening. So it's important, especially on cards with darker borders like this. If they're bigger cards, especially ask for back photos. Super important there. Um, but yeah, in general, I mean, you can get a lot of really good deals here. And most sellers, well, I shouldn't say most, a lot of sellers, if they're motivated to sell, they will not argue with you if you make them a solid offer with comps to back it up. If you offer them 90% of comps on Facebook, a lot of them are going to take that. You kind of be a fool not to, unless you're just really not a motivated seller at all, which is fine. It's your cards. You can do whatever you want with them. But a lot of sellers, if they're going to be posting on your buying posts, they want to make sales. So, um, frustrating part of that process is these people need to post these coined. Yeah, I mean, that's a rule in a lot of the groups. Coined just means you have to have like a slip of paper with your name by it, like this one here, just to show that it's your card. I don't really care too much about it, honestly. I just use PayPal goods and services and just get refunds if people don't send things out. Most of the scammers are super easy to spot. And if that's the case, I just mess with them, waste some of their time. It's kind of fun. But in the rare case where you buy something and it doesn't get shipped out, you can just request a refund as long as you use PayPal goods and services. So yeah, coining is a rule though in a lot of groups. Yes, Jalen, I guess I just answered that. Yeah, unless I've done deals with the person before, I always use PayPal goods and services. Just eliminate any of the risk that goes on. Double first name is a dead giveaway, yeah. And if you just look at their profile, if they have very few posts, if they have very few friends, if they have broken English, yeah, there's a lot of red flags. So this is an example. This guy I bought from a lot. I guess I'm giving away one of my good sellers. That's fine. You guys can contact them if you want. But yeah, I bought this card as well as another one from him. Um, yeah, both look good. So anyway, just kind of a proof of concept where, yeah, if you're buying on Facebook, it gives you the opportunity to build relationships. It puts you in the position to get lucky. I think you can create your own luck in a lot of ways if you're putting yourself out there and putting yourself in the position to buy good raw cards. They're out there, they're everywhere. So that's just a recent post. Wanted to kind of show my process for that. Do you recommend DC Sports or Probstein? I'm still deciding if they're worth it or not. I use Probstein, but pretty sparingly. I really only use him for duplicates, stuff I want to move right away of all-time greats, and when I'm backed up against the start of the season and I need to move um, a lot of slabs quickly. Otherwise, I prefer to list fixed price on my own eBay and fixed price on Facebook. Those are my preferred avenues of selling. I like to avoid auctions altogether, but I will use them when I'm in dire straits. Great questions. So going back to my point earlier about how I mention a lot of things in my videos, but different viewers catch different things and miss different things. Um, I'm I've also been creating a lot of content on TikTok recently, and I've had a lot of people over there who don't really like to watch the longer form videos. They prefer like more of a guide, like a written ebook guide type of thing. So I've had a lot of people requesting that, requesting to pay for something like that that I make. So I am toying with that idea. I definitely am an open book when it comes to my grading strategies, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And I definitely don't hold back any of my strategies in my videos, but I can see and I can appreciate that some people kind of want everything all in one place, in an order that makes sense and that can be easily searched through and referenced. So that's something that I'm toying with. But yeah, just if that is something that you would be interested in, let me know. Um, I'd love some feedback on that. Um, as a buyer from them, I'm not the best with those guys via condition for grading. Might use them to sell though. Yeah, I never buy from them. In terms of raw cards because of that exact reason. A lot of people send their raw rejects to them. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's see, what else should we buy? Another guy that I've been targeting, and this guy, his prices are a little bit crazy right now. Um, but I've still been buying a little bit of him just because I hope that they can at least do something in the playoffs. Um, and I can be getting cards back before he's out of the playoffs, I guess. Um, I've gotten some nice stuff of his. I have some at PSA already, which I'm very thrilled about. I have a nice auto, or I think I have two nice autos of his at PSA right now. And then I've got a couple of things on the way, and then I mentioned I have that Chrome First Refractor that I'm ready to submit. So, and look at the top to bottom centering on that. It's crazy. Looks pretty off-centered too. Sapphire. It's good to buy some Sapphire stuff. Sells really well. Anyway, let's just go through some of these. Let's see what their prices are looking like. So what baseball sets are the best to grade? Also, there are so many versions of the same card that look the same but are different. It gets confusing for me. Um, yeah, there are some, I guess, yeah, with baseball, there are some differences compared to the other sports. Bowman Chrome and Topps Chrome, I would say, are the best ones to grade. Bowman Chrome firsts of players are generally the most sought after cards in that and Topps Chrome rookies. Um, so those are the two. I mean, obviously, Topps Series 1 and stuff are going to do well as well, but in terms of grading, they don't grade as well as the Chrome stuff. Um, so I mostly target Bowman Chrome and Topps Chrome. I do love Topps Pristine. I do love Topps Chrome Black. I do love Topps Finest. I also grade a fair amount of those. Bowman's Best is another one that I like to grade, but those aren't as liquid, aren't as desirable. Um, so I wouldn't be as heavy on those ones as I would be on Topps Chrome and Bowman Chrome. Speaking of finest, though, tricky to tell what's going on with that corner. Ooh, okay. Rudo Tani. It's limited me from buying baseball. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can totally relate. Baseball is the one that I know the least in terms of the sport and also the card market. Because I'd never collected it as a kid. Um, but I would say in some ways it's one of the best. In some ways it's the best one to grade. Um, and each year that goes by, I just get better and better at knowing what to expect, knowing what to target, and that's the beauty of doing this. And especially when you track things closely, um, you're going to be able to notice trends and learn things and apply them in the following years. So last year, I felt like was the first year that I really went all in baseball, and I still felt like I left a lot on the table in terms of volume. So this year, I'm gonna do even better. I'm starting a little bit earlier. Part of that is because PSA is taking longer, but part of it is because I'm more ready for it this year, and each year just gets a little better. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Prices are kind of all over on this one. We see comps at 20, 27, 20. Yeah, it's finest. So probably not a super liquid card. I don't want to really pay over comps for this one. So just put it right at the $21 mark. Let's see what else we got. Yellow Crackle Foil out of 50. Tell if that's a scratch. That is. Looks like it does kind of end right when the card ends, so that is a red flag to me. Corner too, might have a little bit going on. Seeing if I can spot that line in any of the other photos. Ah, that's tough. I think it is on the card. Pretty sure it is on the card. check comps. With these $80 to $300 raw cards, are you sending in value bulk? Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Holy cow. There's no way that's a real sale, right? $1,000 for this card? Holy cow. Yeah, I would say like anything 500 or up is what I am sending in value max or regular, maybe 400, maybe 400. But I had a couple really nice autos that I just barely sent off bulk. Like I mentioned, I had a couple PCA autos that were in the 200 to 300 range. I had a James Wood auto that was like 350, sent that in bulk as well. I did have an Otani Bowman Chrome batting rookie that was 450. I did send that in value max. So yeah, 400, 500 plus. That's about where I would go, value max or regular. Oh man, well with the PSA, this is when PSA 10 comps can be deceiving because I don't know what to make of this. Um, the update did 250 just a few days earlier. That's just wild to me. Just insane. Just gonna go tops out of 50 and see if there's any other stuff we can go off of. It's the gold auto PSA 9 did 1,050. But yeah, the logo fractor out of 50, PSA 10 did less. I don't know what to make of that. But I'll go ahead and put in a bid. Just see if I can get it for what I feel is a pretty good deal. What's the pop count now on it? Yeah, that's a good question. I could check that. One on eBay for 750 OBO. Nice. Yeah, so it's good to not take one comp out of context or too seriously. 75% gem rate. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Wow. So it is only a pop three. That's pretty surprising. Or a pop four now, I guess. Pop three and a 10. Yeah, I'll throw a bid on it. Why not? See what happens. If I lose it, not a huge deal because I don't want to take too big of a risk on it, especially with that potential surface defect there. But hey, see, we will see. This is a nice one. I have, like you guys saw, a few Otanis from this exact parallel. A little off center, top to bottom, not anything that concerns me. Heritage can be tougher grade because of these backs, but oh yeah, like that right there. Could just be a speck, but I'm not gonna risk it on that. Okay, so we're coming to the end now. Um, any questions or any bigger topics that you want me to dive into in the next 15 minutes before we call it a day? Really, I'm happy to answer any questions you have to the best of my ability. Um, yeah, whatever is on you guys' mind. let's see. I had to pull up my list of who else I wanted to buy. I also think Jackson Churio is not a bad buy right now. I mentioned I was dipping back into 2024. Churio and PCA are the two that I'm really targeting. He is on the I think he is injured right now. Hopefully he'll be back by the playoffs. He's a good player. He's a good player. He clearly has a solid market. So yeah, I actually am in the works of hopefully closing a deal on a 2022 first refractor auto from Bowman Chrome of his. Um, Hoping I can close that down. I was kind of waiting till after tonight um, to see what I could find on eBay before I really close things out because I'm a little bit low on cash right now, but it's looking like I'll be able to try to close the deal on that. I also have uh, another Otani Bowman Chrome batting that I'm in the works for, and an Otani 2018 Topps Chrome Refractor pitching 150. So if I could close all three of those, that could be really, really huge. Um, but anyway, it's yeah, it's really nice to have sellers that you have a good relationship with. I know I've said it a lot, but I'll keep saying it just because it just makes things so much easier to scale. Um, More efficiency, more scaling. You have people coming to you as opposed to um, you doing the hunting. This one's pretty off-centered top to bottom. Other than that, though, it's pretty good to me. Um, let's check the description. Bunch of raw stuff. Like to see it. Like to see it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and well, how much is this card going for? It's numbered to 125. Is this the debut or was it the? It's not the debut. Okay. $45? That seems a bit much. $48. Is this an $120 PSA 10? It could be, I guess. Could be. I mean, the autos are doing 400 plus, so PSA 9, 28, and 35. Um, import it here yet. For someone newish to the grading game, not grading the right cards, not timing the buys correctly, and struggling to move cards, what would you say would be the most important thing to focus on? Well, if you if you get the timing right, a lot of the hardships in selling are solved for you because you're selling during peak season and um, you're not holding on to stuff, kind of watching it drop in price as you're holding it, if that makes sense. So, but I would say that yeah, I would say timing is the biggest thing. Um, Timing would definitely move the needle the most, I would say, for sure. But not far behind that is grading the right cards. Um, You want to stick to the top 3 to 5 rookies each year for each sport. Baseball's a little different because you have prospects, but by and large, top 3 to 5 rookies, depending on how good the rookie class is. Um, Use the data to see which players have good markets and which players don't. Um, it's important to rely on the data instead of just using the eye test or personal opinions. It's difficult as a sports fan to do that sometimes. The card market doesn't make sense in a lot of regards in terms of which players have crazy markets and which players don't. But that's the world we live in. That's how it goes. So I would say timing is number one. Number two is buying the right players and the right sets. So yeah, that's part of why I do these live streams to kind of help with both those issues. Now that I've been grading for almost 6 years, um, I'm still learning, but I feel like I've got a pretty good system down for timing things and knowing which players to buy. What are your thoughts on some people starting with SGC if they are on a lower starting budget to turn the cards over faster until budget is larger? Um, to put it bluntly, I would strongly discourage that. SGC may turn cards around faster, but you won't be able to sell them faster, and they just don't do well at auction either. They're not liquid. Um, I would say PSA is the way to go. I know it's tough right now with them having 3 month turnaround times. It is pretty tough to be starting out right now, but it will get better if you can submit. If you can start submitting one order a month of 20 cards or so, um, you're gonna do just fine. I would say don't rush the start of things. You really want to do things the right way, and in my opinion, SGC is um, yeah, not the way to go. I've used them before. I'll never use them again. I don't think they're a good company. I don't think that they are very. I think they also overpromise and underdeliver. Um, I think that, well, yeah, they. I think even now they're behind on turnaround times again, based on like compared with their um, quote unquote guaranteed turnaround times. So yeah, I just think they're pretty messy. And when you add that to the issues with reselling, auctioning, I would say PSA is the way to go. Just like you're saying, Joel. Appreciate that. Warrior Rips, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thanks for all the questions. The questions really help fuel these live streams, so much appreciated. Um, I think we're probably going to call it good there for tonight. You can reach out to me on Instagram if you have any more questions. I want to be doing these every month where possible. So again, a couple things to remind you about. The giveaway for August, if you want to be entered into the giveaway, just use that link in the description for synergycards.app. Use the free trial. You can try out the app, or you can also just use the free trial and cancel before the month is over, and you'll still be entered into the August giveaway. So um, other than that, I think that's about it. Um, So yeah, this will be available to rewatch. So hopefully those who weren't able to make it can rewatch it. And again, my DMs are open on Instagram. Reach out anytime. Happy to help where I can. And yeah, Otani is a great buy right now. I've been buying a lot of him. He's a great buy all the time though, really. Never a bad time. So, with that being said, thank you all. Looking forward to another one of these next month. And we'll sign off. We'll see you guys next time.